bad things, or good people who have done some bad things, gone astray, whatever it is. He's worked with all types. And I tell you, as I've gone through life and as I've aged, I've realized, boy, that's a powerful gift. To not only be able to see the good. You know, everybody says, oh, I see life the glass half full versus half empty. Yes, but do you have the capacity to focus on and stay focused on the fullness of that glass, the fullness of a person, the fullness in a situation? Now, there are times when we do have to face up to reality and realize there is still some that's missing, and this is just bleeding the life out of me, and I have to move on. Jesus does say, if you go into a village and they reject your message, brush the dust off your feet and move on to the next village. There are times when we have to brush the dust off our feet and move on, but the point is, in most situations in life, the call is to not only see the good, but to focus on the good. It's so easy to be critical, isn't it? It's like that's the default mode of life. To find the good, or to find the bad. To find what somebody's doing wrong. To find what isn't right about this situation. To find what won't work. To be an obstruction rather than a creation of a path. Rather than being a solution. So Paul's saying, you have a choice. Really. And it's so easy. It's so easy to find the negative. And you know what? You know when it's easiest to find the negative? Do you know when we're most prone to finding the negative in the situation? With those people with whom we're the most intimate. Our children, our parents, our mates, a coworker that we've worked with for 20 years maybe. A situation that we're deeply embedded in. It's the things we care the most about, or the people who care the most about us, that it's the easiest to be critical of, isn't it? We all know it's true. The people we love the most and the people who love us the most are the ones where we create the most problems. Where we don't challenge ourselves to focus on the positive. Instead, we get distracted in all this other stuff of life, the stuff of life. And the challenge for every one of us is to say, no, I choose to focus on it. And articulate. When was the last time you articulated what you appreciated about your boss? Have you ever? Have you ever gone to your boss and said, you know what, I enjoy working with you. I know this may sound sappy, but I really enjoy working with you. Not only do I enjoy it for this reason, and this reason. Not just a bland statement of I enjoy it, but specific reasons. What I value about working for you. Why you make this a good place to work, if it's a good place that you work. When was the last time you said that to your best friend? When was the last time you said that to your spouse? When was the last time you said that to your child? When was the last time you said that to your parent? Specifically, the positive. Specifically, what it is about this person that brings life to you. One last story. I had a couple at the bar Friday night. And they sat down, older couple, and this was obviously a second marriage for both of them. After some conversation, they were celebrating their anniversary, their 13th anniversary. Poured their drinks, and I said, you know what, it's none of my business. Tell me to stick it in my ear if you want. But I'm going to ask you a question. It's your anniversary, I think that's wonderful. Can I ask you a question? He said, yes, I know that. We'll be honest. I said, I'm going to ask both of you, but I want you each to take a second. I'm going to ask you first, and then I'm going to ask you. I said, I want to know from you, and I turned to the woman first, what is the single best thing about your husband? What is the single best thing about your husband? The characteristic about him. She says, the fact that he loves me. I said, that's good. That's a good feeling, isn't it? I said, but you didn't answer the question. What is it about him? What is the personality trait or the characteristic that you love the most about him? Not what he does for you, but who he is. Do you see the difference? She says, you know what I love about him? He's so smart. I love that about him. And I turned to him. I said, all right, it's your turn. And he was up for the question. He didn't shy away. Some people do. They get a little uncomfortable, but I prod them. If they're too uncomfortable, I back off. But in this case, he was up for it. I said, so what is it that you love the most about her? You know what he said? There's nothing profound. He simply said, she is so kind. She's gracious. He says, there's not enough kindness, and I have this one person who I just respect and love so much for how kind she is. Who knows what they live out there every day? Maybe they do that sort of stuff every day, but maybe they don't. And I operate on the premise, even in bartending, even if I'm talking to the teller at Kroger's when I go grocery shopping, or whatever, I operate on the premise that we never hear it enough. Never. And not just some bland thing, like have a nice day, which is okay, but something more profound, like what do you love about this person? And an anniversary was an appropriate setting for that. But the bottom line is fundamentally this, folks. We spend our lives in this. We spend our lives in that lesser state. The lesser state is spending our time on things rather than on lower things rather than higher things, and we also spend our time in that default mode of critique. And I know maybe one or two of you think I'm preaching to you. I'm preaching to all of us. We all do it. Myself as much as anyone. We spend our time in that space, and God is continually calling us to that higher path. Because the bottom line is this. That's the noble path. That path of finding the good, the path of finding the positive. Is it the noble path because you should? No. It's the noble path because you can. People who do good things in life often do them because they think they should. Somebody has said, this is what good people do, and so this is what I do, and now I'm good. But the people who do great things in life, truly noble lives, who accomplish great things for humanity, think Nelson Mandela. Think Martin Luther King Jr. Think Albert Einstein. Think the biggest names who have done the greatest things for humanity. They do it because they should? Because someone said they should? No, in fact, in most cases, people said, you're crazy. They're doing it because they can. Because they have an ability, because they want to, because they want to give of themselves. I'm not here to should on you today. I'm here to simply lay down the challenge. You have the opportunity to give your life for others each day. Do you choose to do so? For if you do, that is the noble life. So my challenge this week is, where, in what circumstances, and to whom do you choose to give of your life? What positive do you choose to focus on?